You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, unknown actors with me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And for the last 13 years, I've been taking unknown actors with blank CVs all the way to Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, TV soaps, and stage plays around the world. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid working unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready to dive into the episode? Well, hello and welcome back to another episode of Unstoppable Actors. Before I start this one, I just want to ask you if you ever get that excited feeling in your belly, but you can't put your finger on what it is that's making you feel excited. And I know I always start off every single episode saying how excited I am to share the insights and the lessons with you. And of course I am. I'm always excited to impart my knowledge on you. But this is one of those excited feelings I just can't figure out what it is. And I wondered if you have ever experienced the same. I've just recently been cast in a role where I'm playing a real life waffy, which I'm obviously super excited about. I'll be doing that later in the year in June time, but it's not that. It's not that that's making me feel excited. I can't figure out what it is. Anyway, I will definitely do you an episode on playing this role, because this is the second character that I'm going to be playing who was an actual real life living person. There's a little bit more pressure with this one though, because the family of the waffy who I'm playing are coming to see the show, and I'm like, oh my God. And the only thing I've got to go off to create the character is a picture. That is going to be super challenging. So I definitely feel a little bit of pressure with it, even though I'm super excited. But yeah, if you ever get that excited feeling and you never know what it is, please let me know. If you're in our Unstoppable Actors group, just write a little post in there, or come and join it if you're not in it. Maybe in the next episode, if I figured out what it was that made me excited, maybe I'll tell you if you're interested. But for today's episode, we are going to be diving into all things given circumstances. This is life-changing stuff when it comes to your acting. Absolute life-changing stuff. So please listen with every cell in your body. This will absolutely change how you approach the characters. And this waffy that I'm going to be playing, I will be using this as part of my process, the given circumstances, to connect to her. Before we dive into all of this though, before we get started, I just want to say a huge congratulations to all of the actors who have registered for the free workshop on Sunday the 24th of March. And they've told me that they've joined because they want to sharpen the skills, they're just getting started and they want a solid foundation. Some have even been so lovely and just said things like, I just want to train with you, Louise, which I'm always so honoured and humbled to hear, so thank you so much. If you want to join this free workshop on Sunday the 24th of March, please do. It takes everything I teach you in these episodes to a whole new level. We scratch the surface in the episodes, but in the free workshops, we dive deeper and get more practical, and you get hands-on coaching from me. So the workshop is called the Method Acting Booster, Turbocharge Your Talent and Become the Go-To Pro Actor. It's Sunday the 24th of March, as I've already said. You don't need to pay a penny for it, and you simply need to register your place at bit.ly/Method Acting Booster, or if you don't want to type that into Google, just literally go underneath this episode and click the link. I've left it there for you as well. So I am going to challenge you to drink a cup of courage and get your place at the workshop, because if you want to be an unstoppable actor, if you want to take your acting dreams out of your head and for them to actually be your reality, you have to not listen to the excuses or the doubts or the fears, because they're not going to help you, but your courage will. So if your mind is saying things like, oh yeah, but I'm going to be busy on that day, when really, you're probably going to be busy in the afternoon, but not the time of the workshop. Or if your head is telling you things like, oh yeah, but I'm too new, like it's going to be far too advanced for me. Or, maybe you're saying things like, oh yeah, but I hadn't applied for an acting audition in like 2 years, I've had a break. Or maybe you're wondering whether you're good enough. By the way, if you can hear a little bit of crackling in the background, it is one of my cats, Ruby. She's decided to come in whilst I'm recording this episode and purr away and rub on me and sit on a piece of paper. For those of you that have got cats, you know that cats love paper. Anyway, back to the doubts and the fears and the excuses. So if your brain is telling you things like, yeah, but you haven't acted for a while, or everyone else will be better than you, not sure it's for me because I've not done method acting before, whatever it is that's going on in your head, Those excuses, those doubts, those fears, those worries, they are not going to help you become a professional actor. You have to drink that cup of courage. And the cup of courage in this case is registering your place at the workshop. So please do, because I want to coach you. I want to help you. I want to show you practically what you need to do to start getting those doors opened for you so you become the go-to pro actor. Anyway, let's dive into the episode then. So when it comes to your acting career taking off, you have to make sure you are doing absolutely everything you can in your power. You have to take responsibility and you have to be accountable to yourself. Now, what lots of early career and new actors do is they focus on applying for lots and lots and lots of castings or trying to find auditions. And that's great. Keep that up. Absolutely keep that up. You don't want to stop that, but that's not the full picture, because you cannot go to auditions missing the skills casting directors need you to have to be able to pass the auditions and get the job. So you'll hear me say time and time again on Unstoppable Actors that you need to give 50% of your attention to the business side of acting, which is those things like finding auditions, applying for auditions, tweaking your cover letters, marketing yourself. But then you have to spend the other 50% on developing your skills and your talent. And so one part of developing your skills and talent is the given circumstances. Now, what many actors are doing, and please do acknowledge this if this is you, is they're approaching characters solely focusing on making an emotional connection or just playing things out the way they would react to them in everyday life. And I know why they do it is because they just want to connect. And I used to do this myself before I got professional training. I used to spend hours and hours and hours in my bedroom going over and over and over and over scripts. And I used to try and figure out how to say the lines so they would sound real and to try and invoke some feeling or evoke, some feeling out of me. And I used to think, God, I'm so dedicated. I'm such a committed actress because I'm spending like 5 hours in my bedroom going over and over this script. What I didn't realise is that actually there's an easier way to do it. That doesn't take 5 hours or however long it is that you're spending in your bedroom or your living room or your bathroom going over and over the lines. The thing about what I've just said is if you are one of those actors who is doing what I used to do, you know, just trying to make that emotional connection by making the lines sound natural and you're just going all in for the emotional connection or you're just playing out the reactions of the character the way you'd react to things in real life, you've got to recognise that the audience are not paying to see you playing you. The casting director hasn't invited you into the audition to see you playing you. The writer hasn't written about you. You are there to play a character. And I know that sounds harsh, but you have to remind yourself of this. Now, the beauty of given circumstances is that they are going to allow you to find the crossovers between you and the character so you can lend your life experiences to them whilst figuring out who they are and playing the character truthfully. And this is far easier than just trying to make the lines sound natural and trying to force out an emotional connection. So you might be wondering, what are given circumstances? Given circumstances are facts. The verifiably true facts of the character. You don't make these up, otherwise you are meandering over into something called supposed circumstances. And I'm not going to go into supposed circumstances in this episode. I can certainly do it in another one. If you don't start with the given circumstances, you run the risk of creating a character that has not even been written about in the play or in the script. So how do we find them then? How do we find the given circumstances? We find them by doing script analysis. Now, script analysis is the least sexy part of the acting process. It sounds boring. Many actors think it is boring, and it is the part that so many actors want to overlook, but it is essential. I'm going to drill it into your head. Script analysis is essential. It's like eating your greens. Spinach might not taste the best, but we know it's good for us. Broccoli might not be your go-to veg, but we know it's got loads of benefits to it. Script analysis is not the go-to thing that actors want to do, but it's just like eating your veg. It's good for you, so you're going to have to suck it up. Because without it, you are going to create a half-baked character. And you are listening to Unstoppable Actors. So I know that's not what you want to do. So script analysis, then, actually we can make it fun. We can make it exciting, and I love doing it. It's about playing detective. It's about getting curious. It's about reading between the lines to find all the verifiably true facts that the scriptwriter has left behind for you. Now, some are easy to find and some are hidden deeper. So how do we script to analyse then? It's actually easier than you might think. You have to read the script, and you have got to read it as many times as is humanly possible, because the more you read, the more you uncover. The more you uncover, the more you're fueling your imagination. The more you're fueling your imagination, the more you get to know the character and the more confident you feel in playing them. Now, Anthony Hopkins uses techniques from method acting to help him create his characters. He's one of the old school actors, so if you don't know who he is, definitely go and Google him, because he has had a career that has spanned decades upon decades upon decades. He's won more awards than I've probably had hot dinners. He is a phenomenal actor. He reads the script, any script that he is given, a minimum of 150 times. 150 times. How incredible is that? Now, I'm not saying you must read your scripts 150 times, but I am absolutely saying you need to read your scripts more than once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Read it as many times as you can, because then you will find all of the hidden clues. And as I've said, it will allow you to find yourself in the character, the crossovers. When you start to find the crossovers between you and the character, then you will know where you need to use your substitutions. Now, if you don't know what substitutions are, don't worry, I'm going to give you an example. So let's say, for example, I don't know, the character's granddad is only mentioned a couple of times in the script. Very, very, very briefly. They don't appear in the script. But you soon realise from reading the script, let's say you've read it cover to cover 10 times, you soon realise that there's a reason this granddad is mentioned but only mentioned twice. And it's that the granddad has deeply affected the character. Now, if you hadn't script analysed, if you hadn't found this given circumstance, you would have overlooked this. But now, because you've spotted it, the granddad becomes pivotal in this character's journey, even though they're only mentioned twice, very, very briefly, and they don't appear in the play or the script. So because you've spotted this clue, you go, this is interesting. I wonder why they're only mentioned twice. Why don't they appear in this? What's gone on? And then you dig deeper and you can find through the dialogue clues that relate back to this. And then you go, and how do I know this? How do I know this? And this is where substitution comes in place, because then you can find something from your life to lend to this given circumstance of the character's life. And this also allows you to find behaviour as well. When you are working with given circumstances, you find behaviour that many actors are completely overlooking, and it is costing them getting cast in roles. So let's say, for example, you're doing a scene where you're in a bar. Right? What I see time and time again is actors just talking at a normal level. And then I say to them, whoa, hang on a minute, where are you? Oh, we're in a bar. Right? Is the music playing? Does it share this somewhere in the script? Does it allude to this? Because if it does, this now changes how you play the scene. Because if there's music playing, you're not going to talk on a normal level. You're going to need to lift your voice so the other character can hear you. Exactly as what happens when you are in a bar when there is music playing. So given circumstances allow you to find the behaviour, and they also allow you to find the substitutions that you can draw upon from your own life to lend to the circumstances of the character's life. And they also allow you to find clues that other actors are overlooking. And it could be you finding that clue that every other actor has overlooked that lands you the role. So given circumstances give you more depth, more edge. So if you are one of those actors who is applying endlessly for castings, that is brilliant. But are you doing everything you can to make all that effort of applying for all those castings worthwhile? The given circumstances are one of these efforts that makes all that worthwhile. And if you're not at the point of applying for castings yet, but you know when you do, you'll be going all in and applying for loads and searching for auditions, like searching for the gold at the end of the rainbow, then make sure given circumstances are one of the things that you're using. Because this is the difference between you getting the role or not. It's also the difference between you delivering a performance with edge, vitality, spark, life, deep connection in it or not. Now, what we've covered in this episode is only scratching the surface. There's so much more we can go into with this, and I hope it has given you another way into the character, and I hope it's inspired you, and I hope it's shown you what you need to be doing to become a working professional actor. But I also want you becoming the go-to proactor, and I want to coach you. And so I'll be giving you even more exercises inside the free workshop on Sunday the 24th of March, which I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, except we're going to be working on a practical level. And I've already got a script ready and waiting for you to work on in the workshop. So the workshop, just as a reminder, is called the Method Acting Booster, Turbocharge Your Talent and Become the Go-To Pro Actor. All you need to do is drink that cup of courage and go and get your place at bit.ly/Method Acting Booster, or just hit the link underneath the episode. See you soon. I've absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you found this episode inspiring. If you have, please do rate the podcast and hit follow so you never miss an episode, and I can help more actors like you. And come and join one of the most supportive, uplifting acting communities on socials, the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group, where you'll get your weekly injection of inspiration, networking, and receive your free Method Actors handbook so you can become an unstoppable actor.